You buy a commercial property, believing you can use it however you want. Then you discover you cannot build on part of that land, you must contribute towards maintenance costs, and another party has a legal right to enter your property. These are property rights and burdens, and they can fundamentally affect the value and use of commercial property. When buying commercial property in England and Wales, ownership is rarely absolute. Land is often affected by legal rights, benefiting third parties or imposing obligations on the owner. Some restrict what the owner can do, others give rights over the land itself. Understanding these rights is critical during a title investigation because once a property is purchased, the buyer usually takes the land subject to them. So let's have a look at restrictive covenants. A restrictive covenant is a promise restricting how land can be used. It prevents the owner from doing something. Common examples include not using the property for certain business purposes, not carrying out development without consent, restrictions, restrictions on signage or alterations, limits on building height or use. For example, a retail property may contain a covenant preventing use as a restaurant or nightclub. This can seriously affect redevelopment or investment value, and restricted covenants can bind future owners of the land, meaning the restriction continues long after the original agreement. Positive covenants. These are different. These require the owner to do something, usually involving expenditure or maintenance. Examples include contributing towards maintenance of shared access roads, paying service charge contributions, maintaining boundary structures, and repairing shared facilities. For example, an owner of a unit on a commercial estate may be required to contribute towards lighting, security, and estate road maintenance. Unlike restrictive covenants, positive covenants do not automatically bind future owners at common law. This creates important drafting and enforcement issues in practice. Easements. An easement is a legal right enjoyed over another person's land. The land benefiting from the right is known as a dominant land, and the land burdened by it is known as a servient land. Common easements include rights of way, rights of drainage, right to run service of cable, rights of access for maintenance. For example, a commercial warehouse may require a right of way over neighbouring land for delivery vehicles. Without that easement, the property may become commercially unusable. Easements are often essential to the operation and value of a commercial property. Exceptions and reservations. These deal with the rights retained when land is transferred. A reservation creates a new right benefiting the seller over the transferred land. For example, a seller may transfer land but reserve a right of access over it for neighboring retained land, or reserve rights to run services beneath the property. These rights are common in development sites and commercial estates, and if overlooked, they can significantly affect future use of the property. So let's have a look at a practical example. A buyer purchased a commercial development site intending to build additional units, but the title investigation reveals a restrictive covenant preventing further development, an easement allowing neighbouring businesses access across the site, a reservation allowing service media beneath the land, and positive obligations to contribute towards estate maintenance. Legally, the buyer still owns the property, but the way the land can actually be used is heavily restricted. So looking at the key takeaways, restricted covenants limit what an owner can do, positive covenants require an owner to take action or contribute financially, easements grant rights over lands, and exceptions and reservation retain rights for third parties when land is transferred. These rights are critical in commercial property transactions and also residential, because ownership is not just about what land you buy, it's about the legal rights and burdens which are attached to it. If you enjoyed this video, I'd be grateful if you please like, comment, subscribe, and support our channel. Thank you so much.